Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters. This is Teacher Kaitesi. I hope all is well with you. So I have two sections of messages that I want to talk about. The first one is the reason why many rituals that work for other people don't work for us. Okay? The second is to share with you a ritual that actually works. Okay? So first, let me talk about the rituals that don't work for us. So growing up, I used to hear all these different practices and things that people used to do, and they would claim that this really works. Like so many people would have testimonies about it. And sometimes I would try these things, and they never worked for me, And I would always wonder, how is it that I did it precisely how I was told, and it's not working? And then comes the internet with all these different practices and things. And some people can tell me that, for me, I tried that and it worked. Okay? And then I try and it doesn't work. I try sometimes, some things, they work. I try others, they don't work. So I used to wonder to Spirit, how does that work? So recently, the other day, I wake up in the middle of the night and Spirit gives me this ritual to try. So I do it and it really works. Really, really worked. Okay? So after it worked, Spirit tells me, now you can share it. So I tell Spirit, what if I share it and it doesn't do for my brothers and sisters what it has done for me? I don't want to share anything which one day people are going to come back and say that I learned this one from Teacher Kaites and instead it ruined my life. For me, if there's anything I fear, and this is why for me I've kept away from so many things, it's that I do not want anyone one day to hold me accountable for something that I thought I was doing the right thing and I ended up doing the wrong thing for you. This world is hard as it is. We do not need to give each other negative energy and things that don't help. You understand? And I know how hard it is for most of us. So for me, every time I'm going to share something, Spirit really has to convince me that it is good for you. If it is not, I don't do it. I don't want to do it. So Spirit told me, the reason why sometimes you try these rituals and they don't work for you is because they were not given to your kind. If the information was given to a fallen one by a fallen spirit, of course, that one will only work for fallen people. Okay? It will only work for the fallen. If it was given to a son or daughter of Adam, and it was given by one of their spirits, then it will work for them. It will not work for the rest of you. This is why we think that everything, because generally they say that this is good, you think it's good for you. It is not necessarily good for you. Okay? It is not. I know, I could mention 1,000 things, but I'm not going to get into that. But I know that you know what I'm talking about. There are things that other people have tried that have worked for them, and you tried and it didn't work for you. The reason why it didn't work for you is because it didn't come from the lion spirits. It didn't come from our spirit guides. It didn't come from our kind. Okay? Every group has spirits that guide them. The Adam's children have spirits that guide them. Okay? The fallen ones have spirits that guide them, and we have spirits that guide us. Now, for us, our spirit is generally good for everyone. But sometimes a ritual that we share may be too strong for a child of Adam or too strong for a fallen one. And this is why I'm saying this. Don't try this if you know that you're not one of us. If you're not a lion, if you're not the forsaken one in your family, if you know that you're not the one who was sacrificed in your family and you know that you're not, please don't try these things. Don't try these things. Don't think that now I'm going to take a benefit from these ones also. No. I know that many people who are here to watch and listen. How far is she going? How far has she gone? What has she learned? That's fine. You learn. Because for me, I'm not going to hide from you. I'm not afraid of you. But as you learn, do not go and practice and then try and blame it on me when something goes wrong. Okay? So the reason why it didn't work, it's because it wasn't shared by the spirits that guide people like you. That's why, if you see, these other people are on a lower vibration than us. Okay? So if it was given to a child of Adam, it works for their level. If it was given for the fallen one, it works for them. It doesn't work for us. For us, not everything works for us. And also at the same time, our rituals are pretty much simple. I'm telling you, they never involve you moving out of your way. You never really get out of your way to find what we need for our rituals. It's usually available to us. That's what for me I found. Most times when Spirit has shared with me something that I should do that is good for me, it's usually stuff that was already around, that was already there. I don't have to go to find it. And this is why for me, witch doctors and wizards and things could never work for me, because they are way too complicated. They have too many terms and conditions. You know, if you wake up today and you don't do the thing exactly how they said, you're in trouble. Things fall apart. You know, they have all kinds of things that I don't want to get into, okay? Because now, like, I will give an example. A couple of years ago, when I was still married, when my marriage was falling apart, I had this group of friends, women, that I used to meet. You know, like once a week, we would meet, have a drink, talk, you know. So I'm talking about how bad things were in my marriage and such. And then two of them actually suggested that they know a witch doctor, where if I take his hanky, I get my husband's hanky or socks. Yes, hanky or sock, like those small things which he will not easily notice. That I'm sure he has like 3-4 pairs of black socks. If you take from one, he will not notice, and just take one sock, okay, after he has worn it, or take his hanky that is used. And then if you take it and give it to this woman, apparently, which was, you know, active. So they're like, if you give it to them, they will do certain spells on this hanky or this sock that will make this person behave how you want. And I thought to myself, what? And then I realized, you know what? From when I met this person, I have never done any of these practices. For me, I'm genuinely how I am from when I started up to now. If I tamper with them and make them behave how I want, which is against their will, this cannot possibly be right. You know, let's say that even if they say that we were asleep at some point, for me personally, I don't think that we were ever that asleep. I feel like most things, it's just that we were too busy. There was so much going on in our lives that we never came around to actually looking at things and say that this is like this and like this. But I remember at that very time, as bad as my marriage was, I remember thinking about it and thinking, I cannot do that. I'm not going to influence someone to love me against their own will, when for me, I am freely loving them. They should love me freely, or if they don't, they don't. Okay? And I refused that. Yeah? But at the same time, I think about it. Later, when I asked Spirit said, if you had taken it and done it, you would have bound yourself to so many other things that you would be in so much more trouble than just simply the marriage not going well. Do you understand? Because it wouldn't work for me how it worked for those other women, because we are not the same. You get? So there are certain things you stayed away from, there are certain practices you didn't do, because inwardly, your subconscious, even when they thought that you were asleep, but you knew that this won't work for me, this is not for me. Okay? So many rituals out here on the internet that they are telling us, that they are telling you this works, guarantee this. It may work for other people, but it will not work for you. And never be shocked when it doesn't work for you. And so this is why it is good that before you do anything, ask Spirit, is this one good for me? Is this one good for me? Because I have seen all these rituals about salt, and salt has so many rituals. And like I've told you, the one for bathing, and I like it. I like how I feel afterwards. I like, you know, I even take a pinch of salt and put it in my shoes. I saw that also on the internet, and I tried it. And I asked Spirit whether I could try it, and I tried it, and it is good. I like it. It even keeps your feet fresh, you know? So I like that one. And I realized that salt has so many other rituals. So there's this one ritual that I've been seeing about salt on the internet that talks about writing your name on a piece of paper and putting it in salty water. Okay? But I had asked Spirit, and Spirit at the time when I asked just kept quiet. And so the other day I'm sleeping on Monday, and so I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm like really awake. And Spirit immediately tells me, get a cup. I get a cup, put it down. Get water, I have another cup with water. Get the salt, I have the salt. Then I get tape, and I happen to have this tape. This is masking tape. This is, if you're an artist, usually you know this tape. You can write on it. It has a surface where you can write. So Spirit tells me, write your names on the tape. So I get a piece of tape, and then I write my names, okay? I write my names on the tape. And as I'm writing my names, because I'm writing both my names, Spirit is like, write all the other nicknames that you know that people call you. Can you imagine? Even the names that you call yourself. When you were growing up, there are names you called yourself. Maybe they were, for me it was like with this musician I liked, so I had cut her name and he used to include it on my names at school. You know those things you do when you're young. So all these names, all these different names, nicknames that people call you, people who cut your name. There are people, my name is Kaitesi, and there are people who decide to call me Kaite, as if Kaitesi is too long. I also had to write Kaite. Like Spirit kept reminding me of names that people have called me. Yeah? So I wrote all these names on different pieces. It doesn't have to just be one piece. It can be 2, 3, 4. It's up to you. Okay? Just write all your names. And after you've written, stick the tape in the bottom and all around on the inside of the cup. Okay? After that, get salt. Talk to the salt and tell the salt that cleanse my name of all evil, and cleanse it out, cleanse away all evil in every shrine, every evil place, every practice where my name has been used for evil. Cleanse my name and clear it. Okay? Then put that salt in the cup. After that, get water and put the water in the cup. Now, don't fill the cup until it's pouring. Just fill up to above where the tape that you have put in the cup stops. Just a little above, so that your tape is well inside the water, it's under water. Then after that, Spirit told me, leave the cup there, and I went to sleep. And I slept, and let me tell you, I haven't had that amazing, like crazy dreams like in a while. So then I'm going to tell you another story. There's this guy in the community where I stay. He's in his 60s, he's retired, okay? So this guy, every time I meet him, he makes sure to shake my hands. He can never greet me casually. He will cross the road and come towards me and greet me and shake my hand and ask me how I am, how I have been, how... This man we just met in this community. We don't do anything particular together, but he's always like into asking me all these, questions on how I am and how have you been and are you okay and like that. So in the dream, I'm walking and then I see him coming towards me. So I'm aware of the fact that he makes me feel uncomfortable, Like every time he greets me, I feel uncomfortable. Not anything, but I just feel like, so it doesn't go well with my spirit. Let me tell you, this one time, in fact, I had a laptop in one hand and in my other hand I had my water bottle. This guy insisted on shaking my hand until I had to take the water bottle into the other hand with the laptop and shake his hand. That's how much the guy has to shake my hand. Okay? So I'm walking in this dream and I see him coming towards me and I'm suddenly aware of the fact that I do not want to shake his hand. Okay? So as he's coming and he's beginning to pull his hand out towards me, there's water next to me. Can you imagine? So I dive into the water and I swim away from him. And as I'm swimming away from him, I can see him behind there standing and looking at me like really surprised I just went away without shaking his hand. So I cross to the other side of the water. As I come out, there are so many people standing around asking me questions. Everybody has things to ask me. And as they're asking me, I put up my hand and I stop them, and then I start to vomit. I start to vomit in front of them. I vomit. And this stuff that I'm vomiting is like really hot and white. And I vomit a lot of it. And as I vomit it, it keeps going up. That it itself, it lifts off the ground and goes up. And that's a lot. I keep vomiting and it keeps rising up and continuing. Okay? So, and then, like, there's a car next to me. And then these two people open the car quickly. And I enter the car and I wake up. So I asked Spirit, what was this ritual for exactly? So Spirit said, you were cleansing. There are certain things that are within you from the things that you have been given. So you were cleansing and cleaning out all that. And let me tell you, since Monday up to today, I have the most amazing dreams. My dreams are so, like, really out there, I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm seeing all kinds of things. I wake up and I learn all these other things. Like the next day, I saw this woman coming into where I stay, and she was headless. without a head, like literally no head, and the rest of her is walking towards me, and it enters and goes past me and enters the room, and I look at her, and in my head I'm wondering, who is this and has no head? And so when she comes back out, next to me suddenly there's a big mirror. So in the mirror I could see her face, but in real life I could, like next to me, I couldn't see her. So that's when I understood, and I know the woman, by the way. And then I asked Spirit what this is about. So apparently headless people are people who bring bad luck and, evil towards you. And also they are usually willing to do anything to do away with you. Like they are willing to do anything. You understand? So I thought to myself, wow. And this woman, honestly, I have always been suspecting that she's... I don't have enough time to talk to her and what, but I knew something was off about her. So when I saw her headless, I thought, okay. But this information all came after I did that salt ritual. So I know that if you are a lion, okay, if you are the lion in your family, and you know that you were the sacrifice, you're the one who was given up, this ritual will work for you. It will cleanse certain things that have been done upon your name, and in your dreams you will see certain things that you didn't really know about, certain confirmations you will make. So please make sure that the tape is, because it sticks, the good thing, it will stick in the bottom and it will stay there until, okay? So now in the morning when I wake up, I asked Spirit what to do with the cup. So I rolled up the tape. Spirit told me, remove the tape that has your names. I removed all the tapes, I rolled them up, I put them in the dustbin. I poured the water out, and after I poured the water, I brought back the cup like that. You finish pouring, bring back the cup when it's up like that, facing down, and put it somewhere upside down, and leave it for the rest of the day. Okay? If it's at the sink, take it, pour the water in the sink. You've removed the tape out of the cup, you've rolled it up, take the water, pour it away, bring the cup, don't face it back up, just as you pour, leave it like that, bring it and let it stay upside down for the rest of the day. When your day ends in the evening, you can remove the cup. Okay? So that means you do it in a place where you're comfortable enough that the cup can stay when it's upside down the rest of the day. Okay? If someone else removes it during the day, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because I know we live in communities, and the fact that spirits are always also hunting us, somebody may come, but that's okay. As long as for you overturned it, it means that all those evil things that they have done against your name, you have overturned them, and that's it. It's done. Okay? So I know that this ritual works. I know, and like I told you, for me, I don't do anything. I don't come here to tell you anything unless I've tried it myself and I have seen some results. Okay? The reason why I don't do this is because I do not want someone later coming and saying that I got this from Teacher Sarah and it became like this. Me, the world will try and blame me for things which I've done, but those things which I have done, I can stand for. I can stand for. For me, I don't do anything unless I know that I can stand in a public of 1,000 or 2,000 people and say it, that yes, I did it. Otherwise, I don't do it. Okay? So I know that this ritual works. It cleanses. And for the first time, Spirit told me to share this ritual with someone that I know that is around me. I didn't know much about this guy. He's new in my community. But Spirit told me to share it with him. And I shared it with him. I just shared it yesterday, so I don't know, it's a weekend. So I don't know whether he got results or even if he did it. But that's the first time Spirit has ever asked me to share this information with someone who is right there with me. So the way I see it, I think life is changing. I feel it's changing. Things don't... And also these people are fighting a lot against us now. Like they're looking for anything and whatever they can get. So for you to cleanse yourself and keep yourself, in your line is good for you. So any ritual this ritual involves you cleansing. And cleansing for me, I think it's one of our most important things that we should do in this time, is to cleanse ourselves, because they are always throwing dirt upon us. And so anything that for me involves cleansing, I take it very seriously. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Please try it. I know it will work. And this time, share. share and tell me what happened. Okay, so have a good day.